Hello, everyone, and welcome back to just your favorite podcast, the Dudes Club podcast. As always, we're here to discuss Lego bricks and Lego accessories. Of course, I'm here with Lego General Grievous himself.
Yep, it's me, Lego General Grievous.
Yeah, you can tell by
the
his
one
voice.
and only.
So General, how you doing? How you doing? How's the general inning?
I'm doing all right. The problem though, right now, is the economy. Because today I learned just something that has absolutely wrecked my entire
I'm really
chain of
interested
thought.
to hear this, General.
Did you know that 35% of all U.S. dollars in existence have been printed in the past 10 months?
I can believe it.
And they're still printing them. They're still
Sounds
printing.
about
They
right.
haven't stopped.
Sounds about right.
They continue to print to avoid a market crash. They're prolonging the inevitable, and it's just going to be a bigger market crash when it finally happens.
Can't wait.
I mean, that is... a country that has been around for nearly 300 years, and all that money just past 10 months. That is astronomical.
To be fair, our inflation rates are higher than they've ever been. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're not Venezuela high.
I mean, yes, they are not Venezuela high, but for the American state, yes, that is true.
It's kind of bonkers right now. We're gonna once we hit that crash, we're going back to trading and bartering.
I will give you 3 bread for 2 carpenter jobs.
Good sir, I'll give you a week's worth of rations. Simply tend the fields of my crops, and ready for the
Imagine
picking.
we all have to go Amish. I saw 2 Amish people at a Dollar General yesterday, and the Amish man was hitting on some girls.
Yep.
And me and my dad were making fun of that. We were like, not making fun of him, but just the thought of like an Amish person trying to flirt with non-Amish people.
Right. Dude, he's enticing them. He's enticing them.
Oh
with
yeah,
his
yeah.
mayonnaise.
He's trying to show him his cornhole.
Oh
yeah.
baby. Yes,
Oh yeah.
please.
Ethan, you know what is just amazing? Okay, I found this out recently, but Snapple's Snapple apple juice drink is fucking amazing.
Like their tea?
No,
Like
just the
apple
Snapple
tea?
apple juice. It's just called Snapple apple. What?
Let me
It's
look it
really
up.
good.
Let me look it up.
It tastes.
I
It
think
tastes
I've had
just
it,
like an
but-
apple. Which is crazy to me.
I think I've had the apple.
It's really good. I'm not. Yeah, this isn't a tea.
Yeah. Okay. I hate their new rebranding.
What, the
though.
new look, same great taste with the.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I
despise
do
it.
like their old bottles more. They're more iconic.
That's just what made Snapple special, was the glass bottles. Admittedly, probably terrible
Well,
for the environment, but also plastic seems even worse. I don't.
they could have even if they just
How
kept
does
they
that
could have
make
kept
sense?
the shape of the bottle. I
That
don't know why
too.
they did.
That too. Why did they have to? They changed the shape of the bottle, the design, the caps.
Yeah.
They changed everything.
They're just trying to go for that simplistic, modern look.
Corporate style.
Can I confess
Yeah.
something?
Disgusting.
I feel like
What?
people are up in arms about this like modern, simplistic look, but I feel like for a lot of times it doesn't even look that bad. Like I feel like people
It looks. I don't
are
know
like,
about
I'll
that.
give you, for example, okay? There are some that look terrible, right? Pringles, that looks terrible. Just go back to the old Bushy Man.
They just
Exactly.
brutalized him.
I can understand why people don't like Firefox. I still think it looks fine, but I understand that.
Firefox is alright. I think its super detailed, like, original version was kind of stinky. but I think it's gone a little too far with the simplicity.
But I feel like a lot of the time, the more
Somewhere in
simplistic
between.
icons are good because it's like, I don't know, like I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit more. It's weird. There's a lot of hubbub, and I feel like it's for nothing.
I think it just loses a lot of its character. I mean, that's a lot of what a brand is its recognizability.
Yeah.
And just like being able to spot it from a distance and knowing what it is by like the shape or the
I
colors
suppose you're right.
or the font. And so that's what makes a lot of stuff special. And then once it's all homogenized, it kind of like loses its luster. It all becomes one big gray area.
I suppose you're right. I don't know. I guess I just don't care. I guess that's all it boils down to. I don't care enough.
Yeah, I mean, Kilby's is sort of going through their own
Really?
like modernization. Yeah. We got like new staff t-shirts and t-shirts to sell, and they're not like the burgundy
really?
anymore. Yeah, they're like just like a plain blue or like red,
Oh my god.
and it's kind of
The
depressing.
Snapple apple just tastes
It's-
like the essence of an apple. Sorry, I just haven't had it in a few days. Ugh. It's so good. Continue. People are I'm sorry. People are going to
Yeah,
think I'm
and so
sponsored
now-
by Snapple. I'm not. I just really like the drink. Now continue.
Yeah, right up. Yeah, and so it's like, I don't know, the burgundy is like one of the more recognizable things of Kilby's. You know? And now it's gone, or at least being shifted out. We can still wear the burgundy uniforms, which I will,
In protest.
because, well, that and also the front of the new ones just say ice cream, or life's hard, ice cream helps.
Oh.
And like half of it's in cursive and half of it's just like in a regular font.
That's weird.
And I kind of hate it. Like it doesn't have the cow.
That's
on
like the
it
whole
or
point
anything.
of Kilby's is the cow.
I know.
That was like a
That's
big
what
part
I'm
of their
saying.
branding.
The brand recognizability. It's the core. It's that burgundy
Milkshake.
cow.
Very good. It was a good milkshake. Sucks I live so far away.
Well, yeah.
Sucks. I should or go there and order 20 of them so you have a hard time making it.
You would get stabbed. You would actually get stabbed.
And then I get all 20 of them and then I throw them on the floor.
We would legitimately like throw you out and ban you
I
from
come
the
in
store.
with a mustache and order 20 more. And then Ethan. I'll throw
then
them
what?
on the floor again.
Then the cops are being
I'll
called.
come in as a cop.
I think they might notice.
Little do you know, I'm working behind the scenes already. I'll come in. I'll order 20 milkshakes for the precinct. You know, Jerry's needs his peanut butter cup. I need to give it to him, and then I get it.
Alright.
And you know what I'm gonna do?
Yep.
I'm
Are you
gonna
gonna
throw
throw
it on the floor.
He's gonna throw it on
And
the
just like
floor.
that, you're gonna ban a cup, and then I'll cancel Kilby's on Twitter, and then they'll give me free milkshakes for life.
See, you say that, but honestly, we would probably get praised if Kilby's banned cops.
It's true.
In this day and age.
It's true. Did you hear about I think it was a Dairy Queen employee where there was like a whole thing where during the protests for Black Lives Matter, these cops went and got like blizzards or something. It was something of that sort, and suspected that there was bleach in the drink, and then yeah.
What?
So then like arrested the girl, and then like 6 months later, the people never found bleach in the drink, so everyone was just like, "Welp, guess there wasn't any bleach in the drink," and just left it alone.
What? That's so
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
What?
Ethan, speaking of outrageous things, I have to tell you.
Yep.
So you know how a few episodes
Alright.
ago, a few weeks, like a few months ago now, I told you about the whole David Dobrik experience. And
Yeah.
I told you about Trisha
Yeah.
Paytas and Ethan Klein. Well, they broke
Yep.
up their podcast. They are no longer doing the podcast together. Terrible breakup. Ethan's definitely in the right. Trisha went on like a rampage. Story for another day.
Oh.
Well, David
Alright.
Dobrik's back. He's back.
He's back.
And I'm not sure why. I thought his career was over. What happened?
He has money, and he's white.
But he's an immigrant, so that is. Yes.
He is? I retract my
He's
statement.
actually
Apologies.
is an immigrant. His family's came from
That's
yeah,
right. I remember now.
DACA.
There was like years ago. There was like a
yeah. It was back in the Trump
controversy
era. It was
with,
like 2
yeah.
years ago, 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's a DACA
he-
child.
Yeah. He's just got
Yeah, that's
money.
really it. Damn, this Snapple apple's good. I'm sorry, I've been talking about it all day. Yeah, it was just weird to me. I saw it and like, I watched the videos he makes
Uh-huh.
because I don't know.
But like, what's he doing
The
now?
same
Like,
stuff
what's- he's just
Yeah,
back? That's
same.
it?
He's back to making 4 minutes and 20-second videos, doing the same stuff he does. Literally, the second video he made coming back was giving a puppy to somebody. Yeah, just
Huh.
randomly. He's just back, and people are up in arms about it. I'm up in arms
Alright.
about it, but then again, I don't really care.
You can't keep him
Yeah,
away,
yeah.
man. He's gonna keep crawling his way back.
What's the?
Another
let me hear it.
outrageous thing. So I had to a few things actually.
Really?
Did I talk about how I quit one of my jobs? I
You
quit one
quit
of my
Park and Rec?
jobs. Parks and Recs, yeah.
Why?
I quit Parks and Recs. I think it was it Tuesday last week? I think so. I sent in a text around like 1 or 2
Mhm.
o'clock, and it was just me being like, I'm been working 2 jobs lately, and I've come to realize that I won't have time for both of them this summer, and for that reason, this is my official 2 weeks notice. This has been a real great opportunity for these past 2.5, 3 years working in high school. I'm really thankful for it, but this is just where I am
Mhm.
right now. I was being a real professional about it.
It sounds
And
like there's
so-
not going to be a very professional other side.
No.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm trying to be professional. I don't technically need to put in my
Mhm.
2 weeks notice, but I
Right.
do anyway. And so I'm just like waiting for a text
Mhm.
back. And this boss is known for texting back the
Right.
fastest, right? And I don't hear anything for another hour or 2. And then I don't hear anything until like 7 in the
Really?
afternoon. I don't hear anything for the
Oh,
next
right.
day either. Or
Oh.
the next. And so then it's like Friday. And I'm starting to get nervous,
Mhm.
right? Because I got to work. Well, I would have had to work on Saturday. And I'm like, does she know?
Mhm.
Does she even know? And so I'm like contemplating texting my other boss and me asking him if she's seen it or if she knows what's going on
Mhm.
and whatnot. And so on a hunch, before I do that though, I check the schedule. I scour the schedule. But the interesting thing is, Brian, is that I'm gone. I've disappeared from the schedule entirely.
Mm.
And then I realize that she did see my text. And she took, and in a fit of pity or petty rage, just cleaned me off
Oh
that
my
schedule
gosh.
entirely. And then never responded
That's
to me.
terrible.
Just not a word. Not a word.
Wow.
I've been working there for like 2.5, 3 years almost. And I don't even get an okay to my 2 weeks notice.
Damn.
It's like, alright. cool.
Imagine if you told it to her face.
I don't know what would happen. She would have. She probably would have attacked me.
She would have killed you on the spot.
I would not be surprised, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, I get. All right. Good to know. Good to know we're on the same page. Mind you, I would have worked like another
Right,
shift
because
or two.
it was your 2-week notice. You saw it 2 weeks.
Yes.
And she said no.
But she.
Nope.
Nope. She wasn't having
She
it.
just took you right off.
Yeah.
That's kind
it
of
was
funny.
crazy. And then it is, because it's like I don't know, probably half or a third of her age, and I'm more professional, and she's a government employee.
She's what, 60?
Probably not that old, but she's definitely.
I mean, if you were a third of her age, it would be
Definitely
closer to
in her
60.
She's definitely in her 50s.
Okay.
She's definitely in her 50s. But anyway. Yeah, very interesting.
Wow.
And then another
Ooh.
short story. So my dad does a little ice cream selling side hustle during tournaments down at
Right.
Cover Park. It's real close to my house. And so he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I'm out of the Tall House cookie sandwiches, ice cream sandwiches. Can you grab one from the freezer and bring a box down to me?" I'm like, "All right, yeah. I'm just playing some Fallout New Vegas, but sure." So I hop out, grab that box, load it into the car, and I'm just cruising down. It's like a 5-minute drive, less than that. And so I get down to the park, and I'm going to where I need to park. It's not like in the actual parking lot. It's like my great uncle's house and his driveway, just to get out of the way, and I don't have to search for a spot or anything like that. And so I go down, and I'm trying to get to the house, but this one dude right in the front of the main gate, like the main entrance to the park, is just doing a 4-point turn, like a full U-turn in the middle of the road. Yeah. And I had my window down because I was listening to some music, and he had his window down, right? And I guess I got a little too close for him, right? Even though he was already like 80% of the way, and he wouldn't have had to back up anymore, he just had to like drive forward to get out of the way and turn a little, right? Apparently that was just too close for him. And I can hear him shout from his car. He's like, "Do you want to back up or you want to park in my ass?" Right? I just dead stare him and just flip him
Nice. You know what I would have said?
And then he just...
You know what I would have said, Ethan?
And,
I would have looked him
What?
dead in the eyes and I would have said, "I want to park it in your ass," and I would have bit my lip, and that man would have sped away so quick.
That's the thing. He passed by me again, both windows down. He didn't even look at me. He just drove. I was like, "Why? What are you trying to do here, man? You're the one in the bad spot. You're holding up
This
the road."
ginger menace. I don't want anything to do with him.
I guess. Apparently that was too much for him to handle.
Apparently. Ethan, speaking of too much for someone to handle, I have a confession to make.
You have a lot of confessions,
Okay.
but lay it on me.
This is like a church for me.
Yeah, this is confessions.
So-
I am the priest.
That's a good podcast idea. So when I went to your graduation party last Saturday, right? So
Yep.
by the way, that happened. It was fun. People at home. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was only there for a little bit, and they prepped with Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Now, there's a whole thing with Chick-fil-A. They don't like gay people. That's just like their thing.
Yeah.
If you don't like Chick-fil-A, I completely
That's kinda
understand. I'm still gonna order from there. Not because I dislike gay people, but because now Burger King has that if you buy a Chick-fil-A sandwich, they're gonna give it to an LGBTQ club. Well, I guess I haven't bought Chick-fil-A in a while. I guess that's a lie. I guess I won't buy Chick-fil-A. I kind of don't for Katie anyways, because I know she doesn't want. She doesn't mind if I buy it, but she herself won't buy it. But I do it for her. Whatever. Popeyes is better. So there was Chick-fil-A sandwiches there, and I had the normal one, which is great. Chick-fil-A sandwiches are always really good. It's that gay hating. You bite into it, you could feel the taste of the conversion into the converting gay people therapy. You can taste it. It just tastes so good. But then there was not just the normal sandwiches. There was the spicy sandwiches.
The spicy. No, the spicy is my personal favorite. I love the spicy.
I am not a big spice guy.
I am. I love me some spice. Add that flavor.
I'm a super white dude, okay? I'm not a big spice guy. So, I eat my normal chicken sandwich, and I'm, good for, good 20, 30 minutes. And I hear everybody in the group, we had, formed a circle of chairs. Everyone in the circle was talking about, how the spicy chicken sandwich was not that hot. It wasn't that spicy. And so something clicks in my head. And I'm like, I gotta try this spicy chicken sandwich. I gotta do it. Everyone's saying it's not spicy. I'm not a spice guy, so it should work out. I walk inside. I stuff it into my Drexel sweatshirt. Your mom talks to me for 10 minutes. Love her to death. She's great. She was telling me all about, someone related to her and how they're doing engineering and how I'm doing engineering. It was really nice. And then I walk back out. I start eating the sandwich. Dead. I'm dead. I'm already dead. I'm dying. I played it pretty cool, I think. And I just... You didn't notice?
I didn't notice, so...
Dude.
No.
Dude, I played it off so well, but I was dying. Literally was dying.
I don't I had one of my other friends, he had it for dinner too. He accidentally grabbed the spicy one. Dude was almost in a full sweat over it. But I can down the spicy it's oh, there's a little spice. It bites back a little. But it doesn't make me hack up
I wasn't
a lung
hacking
or
up a lung.
anything. I don't know.
But spice hits me in such a way that I'm just my throat's burning and I'm this sucks. And that's really it.
Oh.
I'm not hot ones crying and snotting all over the place while I'm biting into my last dip wing.
Yeah, I guess you just really have to build up a tolerance.
My family's never been a spicy people.
People. Yeah, same. I've only really gotten into it because of my brother. He is really into spicy stuff. He'll put hot sauce on everything. And he has 5 different hot sauces too. But now since I've gotten into it, I love jalapenos and habanero and stuff like that. And just adding that little bite.
I think for most part, just normal peppers don't really kill me as much. But it's that artificial spice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, always normally gets me. That's why I stay away from it normally. But yeah,
I don't. I embrace that, John.
I bet. So I've seen you've been playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas.
I have, yeah. Yep. Been really just plowing through a real good playthrough of it, because I've played it through once and a half, more or less. But it was a very, just hitting the main quest and the integral side quests. But this one I've really been just making a thick comb through the map, going in every building, talking to everyone I can, any named characters, trying to pick up as much as I can.
Yeah, I own the game. I have a hard time getting into it. I don't know what it is. My brain's telling me it's the running speed, but I think it's more than that.
I mean, you could probably
I
go
can.
into the actual game
You could just
files and
go into
change 'em.
console control. I know you can change it. That's why it's got to be something else. I don't know
Yeah.
why my brain's not liking it yet. But I think I just need to chuck along a little bit more and I'll get there. Does this mean that you fully finished Skyrim?
Yep, yeah, I 100%
Nice.
it's
Nice.
Skyrim a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. I meant to
think.
ask about that. Good job.
Yeah, hold on. I can actually pull that up and see how many
Hmm.
hours I have in it real quick.
Yeah, I've been playing I haven't played any Lego games this week, which is great for everybody at home because for all the people that hate the Lego segment, very little Lego segment today. All you got was Lego General Grievous. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, so my final time was about 106 hours. That's the Steam recorded hours. So
Yeah, that doesn't count like any pause breaks.
that's
or,
not. Yeah, it.
or that counts all
Yeah,
pause
that's not
breaks and
all
like step away from
gameplay.
yeah.
So it's probably closer to like 90 something, I'd say.
I've been playing a bunch
Like-
of Neo 2. So when I got my
I've also been
Yeah.
seeing that.
So I recently bought it because I've been waiting for the Steam Summer Sale, which is tomorrow 1. Yep. So
yeah, I'm excited.
so that's gonna be a fun day to talk about. Next week is gonna be a fun day. We're gonna talk about all the games we bought. But I didn't want to wait for this game because I've just been had this itch to play a new game, and it was specifically Neo. And I didn't want to buy the old one.
Right.
I've played the old one a bunch of times. I really like the old one, and if I ever have throwaway money, maybe I'll buy it again. But I wanted to buy the second one because I haven't played any of that, and there's so much new stuff to it. And so it was a few days ago I bought it for the first time. I can actually tell you exactly what day it is, and then I can give you more. I bought it June 17th, 6 days ago.
Right.
I didn't even play it that day. I let it download. So basically, I've had it for 5 days. And on the hours right now, we're looking at 70 hours. Yeah.
Yikes.
And I am... Let's see. There's still 3 DLCs I have to go through. And there's 3 new game pluses. So, I probably won't do all of the new game pluses. But this game is really fun, and I've been playing a shit ton of it. Oh my gosh.
I can
It's
tell.
captured
Even
my soul. It's so fun. If you have never played Neo, the best way I can really describe it, and I hate saying it, but it's a Dark Souls-like game. A Souls-like game.
Dark Souls.
Basically, in the first game, you play as this a guy named William, who was an English samurai, which is like a real-life thing that happened. And all the people that you meet in the game are real samurai that lived. For example, Yasuke, I think his name was, which was the only black samurai. You see him.
Yep.
You see like the Oda clan, and like Honda, and like all these cool, interesting. That was all their first names, but all these interesting samurai that actually lived, which I thought was really interesting. Plus, you get to fight like yokai, which are demons basically, and like the fights are really difficult. And there's like a few different types of weapon, and there's like a skill tree. Have you ever played Neo?
No, but I've seen videos of it.
Look, I know you got a lot on your plate. But if you ever have a chance and you want to play something that's a little challenging and you might scratch that Dark Souls itch, Neo it's a good
I'll
game.
be honest. I don't think I could.
Neo
I'll be
Neo
honest.
1 it's a very steep difficulty curve, I think. But once you get into it, you'll never lose it. Like it's super fun.
Maybe I don't know. I can only really tolerate some Dark Souls games. Like even I can only enjoy 1 and 3. 2 I did not enjoy whatsoever. So as I've gotten older and my time has become scarce with games, I've made the conscious decision to just buckle down on what I really enjoy and just spending time with that rather than trying to play a little something of everything. And So
That love has
I
yet
don't
to
know.
leave my
It's
heart.
just,
I'm not sure why, but I'm sure it probably never will.
Well, there's no love that's left my heart necessarily. It's just, I could play, Fallout New Vegas and really get a good run through, or I could play like 300 hours of Counter Strike. And it's like, well, obviously I know I'll enjoy Fallout New Vegas, so I might as well just do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
But-
It's hard to explain.
Basically, all I'm saying is that if you ever have the chance and you ever have that itch for whatever reason, Neo is a definite game you should try out. And Neo 1 is like really good by itself. Yeah, it's not perfect. There's definitely some issues with it, but I think it's a fantastic game on its own. And it's up there. It's actually the first game I ever played for my YouTube channel. Before I even had any commentary, which is funny to me.
Yeah, I remember those days.
And I sounded like this. Yeah, I mean, if you would like to see a difference, watch, for both you, Ethan, and the people at home, watch this right now, and then go and watch episode 2 of Dark Souls 3. Why episode 2? It's the easiest one to find. Because it's literally...
That one has like thousands of views, doesn't
I
it?
think it's like... I think it's like my third most popular video or something, for whatever reason. It's just random. For some reason, my videos just have like random episodes that just do fucking amazing. Episode 2... Oh, it's fallen. Okay, episode 2 has 278 views. It's like my 10th most watched video.
Yeah.
For some reason, Enter the Gungeon episode 15 has 1,000. Laughing Fit, of course, has a 2,000, which makes sense. Big Titty Goth GF has 2,000 as well. Okami episode 1, 907.
Oh, your voice in this in episode
I know.
2.
Right? Crazy.
Yikes.
And so that was... Neo was the first game I ever played for the channel. And it's funny, because back then, when I first did my playthrough of Neo, the first place you start in the game is London, because you're playing as an English samurai, and so you have to go to Japan. So you start in London, and for the longest time, I always thought it was London, not London, the place, but in the game, I thought it was London. Didn't realize it was London. I don't know.
Why?
I never connected the dots that London and London were the same place. And it was the first episode, when I was recording the first episode of the game for the channel, I was like,
oh no.
wait, it's London. And I felt so stupid. And I was like, in this moment, I'm happy I don't have commentary. This shit sucks. And I would have been saying London this entire time.
That would have been terrifying.
Imagine.
That realization is just...
As a child, I never connected those dots. I don't know what to say.
I have
good.
no comment.
Trust me, I have nothing to say either about it. It's just so stupid. But everything that's so good about Neo 1 is also really good in Neo 2. It's even better in Neo 2. Neo 2, there's new interesting yokai, which was an issue with Neo 1. Neo 1 didn't have like a vast difference of enemies. You had like you fight the same enemies a lot. Neo 2, there's like a ton. I feel like there's a lot more. You don't really fight all the same enemies. Yeah, they repeat, but I don't feel like it's as harsh with that repeating. You got interesting bosses. The levels are a little bit longer. You have new weapons. You have like double the weapon types now. In the original game, it was only, I believe, 5 weapons. And then with DLCs, it ended up being 7. And then...
Oh, yeah, that's...
Weapon types.
Sparse
Yeah,
picking.
there was...
Oh, okay.
Sword, dual sword, spear, axe, and this Kurosagama, which is basically a sickle attached to like a weight by a chain, and they like swing it around, like it's a whole thing. And then the DLCs added a dachi, which is just a really long sword very long katana, and then tonfas, which are basically just 2 wooden sticks. And then Neo 2, you have all those weapons.
Just you just start beating them.
Yeah,
with
it's
wooden
basically a
sticks.
baton. 2 batons, like that
Right.
police use. It's basically that. And then Neo 2, they have those 7 weapons, but then also have a switch glaive, or a switch sword or whatever, which basically turns into a scythe to a glaive, into like the saw from Bloodborne, the original weapon. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like the saw
Thank you. The saw cleaver. Like it basically turns into that. It's like really cool. And then you have like your claws. You have hatchets, dual hatchets, and like a split staff, which is just a staff that will come apart and has like it's connected by chains, and you just swing that shit around. It's all really cool, and it's really good. I recommend both Neo and Neo 2. It doesn't really matter the order you play them in, because Neo 2 is the prequel. But I guess if you want an easier time first,
no
try
kidding.
Neo and then go into Neo 2.
So you would say Neo 2 is harder.
Slightly. I feel like there's a few more things you need to grasp. Like there's a few more mechanics you need to grasp. But I feel like at the same time it also can be a little bit easier to understand, because they took a lot of the shortcomings from the first Neo game and improved them, and just made certain things better. So I guess in the ways of combat, Neo 2 would be slightly more difficult, but not like too much more difficult.
Right.
So,
Huh.
but that's what I've been playing.
Very cool. Yeah, I've also been playing a lot of Hunt
Yeah, I've seen you
Showdown.
play that game. What is that game?
Okay, so I've really been enjoying this. It's been in early access for a couple of years, but I think last year or a year or 2 ago, it came into like a full release. So it is a PvE VP style game.
You're facing other
So-
people, but at the same time, like AI. Gotcha.
AI.
Okay.
Yes. So the game takes place in like 1890, I believe, in Louisiana, like the swamps.
Mhm.
And I don't know like the lore or anything like that, but there's basically like zombies and monsters in the bayou, and there's like different zombies. So there's like regular ones that'll just kind of chase you and slap you around. There's ones with like knives or torches, and the knives will cause bleeding damage. Torches will cause burning. And your like health is split up into chunks. So if you lose one chunk, and you can like heal it back, but if it's burnt or you're like shot dead and then revived, it's gone for good for like the rest of the match. Yep. And so there's like other zombies like that. There's like one immolator zombie that'll explode in flames and stuff. There's hellhounds. There's one bee lady that just like has a whole hive growing out of her rib cage, and she'll send bees to poison you. There's other monsters like that, other special zombie types, but they're scattered around the map. And so as a player, your job is to collect 3 clues to locate a boss. And so you gotta find your way across the map, pick up these clues, and find where the boss is, right? And then you gotta do a little boss fight. There's 4 or 5 different bosses that you can fight, and they're random each time. There's either 1 or 2 bosses per match.
Right.
And so you fight the boss, and then once you do that, you banish it, and that'll give you full health immediately. Like it'll just refill your health, even if it's been burnt or lost, which is really nice. And then it takes about like 2 or 3 minutes to banish it, and then you can pick up the bounty and extract. Okay. The problem is there's only 1 to 2 bosses, right? And then there's about 12 players, and you can play in teams of 2 or 3. So you're looking about 6 to 4 teams of people all trying to get these same bounties. And so you gotta fight other players. Now, the gunplay is very I don't it's very clean but also clunky by design because it's set in 1890. Everything's bolt action, everything's spring loaded. So like half of the guns, they might only have one shot before you have to reload. Anything that's lever action, it actually takes time to lever it. Bolt actions takes time to actually use the bolt and pull it back. So some of the most powerful weapons are just semi-automatic, and you have to level up to unlock them. So because everything is very slow, the gunplay is also devastating. If you get shot in the head with anything, you just die immediately.
Really?
Yes. Any headshot will kill opponent. Any other player, that is. So you could just use a silenced pistol or like a sniper rifle. And if you get that headshot, they're going down. So because the gunplay is both clunky by design and devastating, the game heavily relies on sound design. And the sound design in this game is so crisp and well designed that in the menus you can like inspect the different types of guns and use the scroll wheel to see and hear what the gun actually sounds like from different distances.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can scroll the scroll wheel while you're inspecting a gun and hear what it sounds 400 meters out. Because that's how accurate the sound is. You can hear, like, when you're just roaming the map, where people are having gunfights, how many people are there, what kind of weapon they're using, and whether or not it's indoors or outdoors or whatnot, purely from the sound. And you could be like 300, 400 meters away and know exactly what's going on.
Sound design is just so... It's like so important to games. I was playing Resident Evil 8 earlier today.
It is.
Because Katie bought it just because,
Yeah.
but she doesn't enjoy horror stuff, and she's really bad at like aiming, so she got me, which is just like one step above, I guess. So I was playing it, and one of the parts, this big 9-foot woman with big titties is chasing you. But like I have to sit there and I'm like, shush, 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 and I can hear her footsteps. And I know exactly where she is because of her big, clunky footsteps. I mean, have you seen the woman from Resident Evil 8?
I've seen
so
it.
you,
Yes,
I mean, you know. Come on.
I
So I'm like,
I know.
so I can hear her walking, and I'm like sitting there shitting my pants. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to deal with this. And I'm sitting there while Katie's over here like, she's so hot, I'd let her stab me. And I'm like, stop, shush, 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 I gotta hear her. And I trust me, I 100% get sound design. Oh, and like, there's certain games which are so nice. Like, it was a bad example, but like a game like Friday the 13th. You ever played that?
I didn't. I thought about getting it when it first like came out.
The game's
but I
kind of
never
dead
did.
now, but it was when it was
Yeah.
a thing. It was really fun, and you could, as soon as Jason would come close, you could hear the Jason music. You could hear screams,
Right.
and you can even hear footsteps when you were Jason, so you would know exactly where the people were. And it's just still little stuff like that with sound design that's just so important to video game making. That's just so beautiful.
It really is. I mean, most of the time it is kind of overlooked. Like it's just a middle of the road thing, but you can tell when it's either really bad or really good. And even in Hunt Showdown, like I'm telling you about that gunplay, but it's more than that. Like you can hear where people are walking. If you're outside, you can hear someone inside and tell whether or not they're on stone or metal or on the first floor or on the second floor. You can tell if they're on the roof, if they're outside on a balcony near you. And they can hear you stomping around in the mud. So then you gotta be crouching around, sneaking around, getting around people while they're in the gunfight and
Do you
getting
have
the
any
drop
of
on
these
'em.
DLC bundles?
Stuff
Sorry, I'm
like
like
that.
looking at the game. No.
Oh no. So most of the DLC bundles, that's another thing. All the DLC is completely cosmetic. So your hunter, that's another thing that I did actually skip over, is you have to level up and kind of unlock weapons and items and, healing items or fire bombs, stuff like that, dynamite sticks. And you can unlock them by ranking up, but then there's specifications that you have to unlock through use. So I can unlock a certain type of pistol, but if I want a modified version with almost a belt-fed cartridge, then I gotta use it a bunch, and then I can unlock that. Or if I want incendiary ammo, I have to use the pistol a bunch, get some kills, and then I can get the ammo type. So stuff like that. So that's the kind of ranking system. But anything you bring in with you, if you die, it's gone.
Really?
So
like forever, or like until
so
you start another
money.
match?
Yes. No, it's gone. You earn money for bounties, killing enemy players, and regular enemies finding clues. You just earn money by playing the game, basically. And you use that money to buy items to take into the match. And so it's a risk versus reward, Do you want to spend a bunch of your money, get real kitted out, and think you're going to stomp a game? Well, you might be running on a road and some dude shoots you 75 meters out with a headshot and downs you and your teammate, and you just lost everything.
It's kind of brutal.
But maybe you spent all that money and you're the guy that's doming people. So maybe it's worth it. So it's a whole risk versus reward. You got a little economy going on. But it's very fun. Just today, me and my friend, we hid out in the outhouses, 2 twin outhouses, right next to the boss, because that's a good strategy, is waiting for other people to start fighting the boss, and then getting the drop on them. Because most people will kind of convene there. And so we're just hiding in these outhouses, and we start hearing all the different squads fighting, hearing the gunshots and where they are, and we're like, oh, well, that's coming over from the west, so he's probably out in the, the guard tower right there, and other guys are fighting somewhere else, so they're probably coming from the field. So we're hearing all that going on, and finally it dies down. We start hearing them stomping around in the mud. We hear them, tap, 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 coming right up to our little outhouses. And the thing about outhouses is that they'll hold, like, maybe a box or a couple of cartridges of ammo, or maybe, like, XP boosts. But that's about it. And so nobody ever expects to find another person in there. And so this other team, they just stroll up, and one dude opens both outhouse doors.
At the same time, or like, bub up?
One after another, yeah, bub up. He opens my friend's first, and then mine. Like, and he just doesn't realize that we're in there. He can see us plain as day. He stares at me for like half a second, and then shuts the door again on me real quick before I can do anything. And so I was panicking because I thought he was just going to blast me with a shotgun or something and kill me instantly. And so he shuts the door on me, and I'm trying to swap to my shotgun and get out the door again. My friend's chasing him down with a knife. And so I finally get the door open. The enemy team 180'd and is trying to chase my friend with a knife. He chases him right into me, and I just point blank that dude, blast him, dead on the spot. His teammate is probably like 3-4 yards behind him. Second shot, dead. 2 shots, and I killed both of them with a shotgun. Just like that, because they weren't ready for the outhouse trick, man.
No one's ever ready for the outhouse trick.
They're never ready for it.
Ethan, I have some bad news. I have 2 bad news.
What's your bad news?
One, I don't know if you heard this. Drake Bell of Drake and Josh fame pleads guilty for whatever he did with a minor. But that's not the only bad news.
What's the rest?
Creator of McAfee virus, antivirus. Sorry,
John
he's dead.
McAfee?
He was found dead in a Spanish prison today.
No,
His
John
life
McAfee.
is fucking crazy. but he was found
Dude,
dead
no,
today in a Spanish prison.
Dude, I watched this one podcast with him, and the dude hosting was just totally taking the piss with him. Like, it's so obvious John McAfee was just insane and running from, like, 3 different governments.
Oh, yeah.
But the host starts asking him if he stands or sits while wiping and stuff like that. And John is like, he's losing his mind over this question and is like panicking. And he's like, who stands? What kind of freak stands? Stuff like that. And he asks his wife, and his wife is like, yeah, sometimes I stand. And he's like, what? What do you mean you stand? What kind of freak are you?
Do you stand when you
Stuff
wipe?
like that.
Do you stand when you wipe?
No, I sit.
Ethan.
Oh my God! Don't tell me, Brian, that you stand.
So John McAfee, he's
So yeah, and then at the end of the podcast, John McAfee, he's like, he turns to his wife and he's like, "Who's this guy again? Who is this guy?" Like, he just completely forgets who the host is of the podcast he agreed to be on. He's like, "Who is this guy? Put him on the list."
the list of what?
But yeah. Put him
Not
on
the
the
list.
list. Yeah, that's just like how the podcast ended. It's like, what's the list?
Oh no. Yikes.
But do you seriously stand?
Yes.
Oh my. No.
Listen.
No.
Listen.
No. No.
My whole family does it.
No. No. That doesn't make it any
It's a
better.
generational thing. I know a lot of people that stand. This is weird because I bring this conversation is brought up a lot. I know a lot of people that stand. I know other people that sit, but I know more people that stand than I do sit.
I am the complete opposite. I know almost everyone I know.
See, I'm not against sitting. It's how I've been trained.
I mean, how do you stand? That's the. I mean, are you just like fully upright, or are you doing more of a squat?
You
like
just
a
stand
hover
right up.
above the toilet.
Nope.
You're kidding.
Nope.
You're actually kidding. Nope. Okay, that is monstrous. That is vile.
The only time I wouldn't do something like that is when the shit's been bad. But most times my shit's not that bad, so I just whoop, can stand up, wipe like 1 or 2 times, and I'm normally good. And then I'm on with my day.
Wait, so do you have to like stand up and
No.
sit back down?
You stand up. You don't have to do this, but this is what I do. I stand up, turn around, look at my shit, take some toilet paper, wipe my ass, look at the shit on the toilet paper, throw it in the thing. I always like looking. I don't know why, but it's a routine for me. But it's only like a 2 or 3 wiper normally, and then I'm good. If it's a really bad one, I'll sit there and ponder what life would be like if I had a bidet, and then I'll get up and wipe my ass like a normal human being.
Oh my gosh.
Listen. This debate actually goes farther than this. You wanna know why? Because, when you stand up and wipe your ass, there's only one way to do it, and that's from, down to up. No one's going up to down. That's not happening. So you're wiping up. But when you're sitting down, there is a fight against whether you wipe from ass up or you wipe from ass down. Ethan, do you lift your balls when you wipe?
You just.
Okay,
Why would
so then I
need to?
already
I'm not shitting on my balls.
You wipe towards your balls. Okay.
No. I wipe in a circular motion. I'm not going up and down the entire crack, dog.
Okay,
I'm
whoa,
right there,
whoa.
just
This is
at the
I
hole.
need to hear
I
this.
wipe-
You wipe in a circular motion?
You just sort of like go up and down. You just kind of like get it out, It's not like one swipe of a credit card, man.
I'm a swiper.
And sometimes, well, see, first you do the rim and then you get in deep.
My
That's the
shits
thing.
are never
That's
that
the
bad. I don't need to
circular
get in
motion.
deep.
Well, I'm not like fingering my
Ethan.
ass. That's not what I'm saying.
Ethan. Listen. I don't want to battle you on our shitting ideas, because out of all the things, this is like a worldly battle. I'm not gonna battle you on this because this will go on forever. I'm never gonna shit differently.
Fair enough. That's
Exactly.
True. Neither am I.
People do it
My
all
way
kinds of
works.
ways. Some people lift their balls. Some people don't. I don't.
I don't. That's that's funny. Oh, that actually is kind of funny. Like, how bad does it have to be where you're like, I gotta get this out of the way, man?
No,
We're
the
going
thing is
heavy
though,
duty
when
on
people
this one.
wipe, ass to balls, they have
That's
to
when they
lift
have
it
to
that
lift?
way because some people wipe that way. Other people, which I feel like is the more understandable way to do it, is reach around and wipe their ass rather than go from the front.
Yeah. Wait, they go from the front. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
go from the front and pull towards the balls. So they have to lift the balls. Because it's hard to get your hand under there unless you
Oh.
lift your balls. It's funny, I'm doing
Yeah.
a reenactment
Okay.
in my chair, but no one is watching.
Yeah, no, I'm doing the exact same thing to figure it out. Like, I was like confused. I was like, I had to see
Yeah.
it for a second. I
They
was
have
like,
to go
wait,
from the
so-
front.
Okay, yeah, that's. Wow, that's wild. Okay, that's actually so much worse. Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
care if you stand or sit. Just go from.
Because then
Taint the butt.
poop gets on your butts, or your balls. If you think about it, if you don't lift
Yeah.
it, your poop's getting on your balls.
Yeah, just go from the taint. To
But
back.
that's like, there's a whole thing with this. And I know a lot of people that stand. It's about like a 50-50 shot. And for some reason,
That is.
for the longest time, not even joking, I thought I was a freak. I always thought I was a freak for standing up. But then I talked about it, and I found out that a lot of people near me are standers. And then I saw the video by Jay Schlatt where he was like outraged that people stand while they stand to wipe their ass.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like a 50-50 split. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, no. I've known about that debate before, Jay Schlatt. Like I said, that interview with John McAfee is what opened my eyes.
The only reason I know which way to
I was
wipe is because of the
terrified.
H3 podcast, and they used to ask all their guests which way they wiped. Ethan
Fair
wipes
enough.
from ass to balls. He goes front. And he's always
No.
defending it. It's hilarious.
No. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Because that's just so much more work. Like, you don't have to lift your whole crotch if you just go
I suppose
back.
it's how far you sit on the seat. And the size of your seat. Because I feel like I can't. There's
But-
no possible way to get my hand under my balls and wipe my ass like that. So I'm confused as to how he does it. But
Yeah, I mean, he has to be, like, sitting far
then at
back
that
in
point, I just
seat.
sit there and worry about getting shit on the back of my toilet because I don't want to
Yeah,
be too far
exactly.
back.
No one does.
You know what's the worst? Public bathrooms.
What? You know what? I've
No,
overcome my
no.
fear
I
of
could
public bathrooms.
I can piss and shit in public bathrooms. I mean, one of my favorite stories to tell is Blue Mountain, where I had a shit in a public bathroom. But
Yeah.
they're just so
But-
gross, and it really
They
pulls
are.
out just the nastiest of people. Like, there's always shit on the floor, shit clogging the entire toilet, even to the point of it coming out of the bowl.
Gotta love it. Gotta love when you walk into a high school bathroom, there's just
What?
cum on the floor. Yeah.
How often does that happen?
It happened about, I don't know, once or twice
Oh.
a year. I'd walk into a bathroom. Maybe
Did you
3
taste
times.
it? No, I'm kidding.
Happens pretty often.
This kid's not eating enough pineapples.
No, you just see a strange substance on the floor, and you're like, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna use the bathroom and walk out.
Ethan, this is a real question. Real question time.
Yep,
I've never
real question.
talked about this to anybody. Not because I'm embarrassed of it, but because the topic's never been brought up. When you piss, is there times
Uh huh.
when that shit goes wonky and decides to go two streams on you?
Split streams. I've had it.
I've had 4 streams.
I've had it. I've had it shotgun where I cannot tell how many streams there are.
What happens? How does that happen?
I don't know. Dude, it was terrifying. I had to like start squatting down because it nearly like it missed the bowl. It missed the. Some of the streams were going out of the bowl. I had to like squat down because it was shotgunning.
Shit, when that happens.
It's awful.
And when it's a dual stream, that shit just hits both sides of the toilet bowl and will not go in. And it's just like fuck, shit.
That's the word. Because it's like. Because then they rejoin. And then it goes a different direction than either of the first two.
And then, like, in that split second, you don't want to get too close to the toilet because you'll be standing weird. So you have to almost like, do like a mental gymnastics and choose which stream you want to go in the toilet. It's,
crazy.
okay, I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy and that has only happened to me. Because I didn't think it had only happened to me, but that shit's wild.
You ever get the shakes?
The shakes? I do, a little bit.
The shakes after you
A little bit. I do this weird thing where I tickle myself a little bit, and it makes me pee longer. I don't know why.
Okay, I don't know what
well,
to
no,
say
no, no.
about
I just touch my sides. My body is enveloped in goosebumps, and then I just piss harder and faster and longer, and I don't know why.
You get your second wind while pissing.
Dude, I don't know. It's like a superpower. I just have to touch my sides, and my body bumps up.
I mean, sometimes I'll like get a solid stream, and then it'll start, and then it'll just be like a second pause, and then it'll just go right back like full force again. But yeah, sometimes you get a little pee shake after, like where your entire body just like involuntarily shakes for like half a second.
I feel that sometimes, like when I'm cold, I just like shake, and I'm like, what was that? What the fuck? I feel like I haven't gotten it nearly as much when I pee. It has happened like maybe once or twice. But you know what the worst is? When you're shitting, you get the shakes.
Okay, that is pretty
bad. Because you're
bad.
sitting there and you're just like, oh no, that's not even the worst. You know what is the worst? When you're shitting, take a breath and that shit just goes right back in.
No, oh man, that you just gotta like,
oh my god,
you gotta take a deep breath and just buckle down.
But the thing is, you're not supposed to push. You're not supposed to push hard anyways, because it creates hemorrhoids in your anus. So I don't try to push. A lot of time I just let it brew and then it comes out by itself. But there are days when I have to push.
Sometimes that just takes too long.
Sometimes it does, but sometimes I like to take my time. You know? So I always bring my phone and it lets me take my time, relax.
Yeah, but sometimes then you take too much time.
I always look at the clock.
So you're on your phone.
I like to match my poops with my showers. So that if I don't wipe well enough standing up, I just gape my ass in the shower and I'll be okay. So I have to like time it well with my shorter showers. It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, I'm real fun in the shower. Yeah.
Oh yeah? You real fun in the shower, bro?
Is there a problem?
I'm sorry. Is there a problem? No, it was just funny.
I'm a fun guy. I don't know what to tell you.
You're a fungus. Yes. A fungus among us.
Among us.
A fungus.
I feel like no one plays Among Us anymore, and I think it's sad. It was a good game.
It was. I played it in sophomore year. That's the crazy thing. Like 2018. Yeah. I remember I would play it with like my Bible study friends, and I started like telling people to get it in chemistry, and we would play it every now and again. And that's when there was only one map. And then the game just sort of like died for like a full year and just exploded onto the scene. And everyone was like, you have to get this game. It's called Among Us. And I was like, I know what it is. I know what it is.
I liked it before it was cool. What are you, a hipster? Shut your ass up.
No. It was, even when I did play it, it was pretty short-lived. I was like, played it for like a month. I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored of this.
Me saying "shut your bitch ass up" remind me of something that I've been doing a lot when I've been playing Neo. I'll find a random enemy,
yeah?
and I'll just start like kicking his ass, and I'll be like, "Shut your bitch ass, bitch ass looking ass motherfucking up." I just like I won't stop cursing at this fucking demon until he's dead. Be like, "Shut your bitch ass motherfucking looking ass up," and I'll just fucking wail on this guy, and I do it for every enemy. It's just to myself. I'm by myself in my room, and I'm doing this to myself, and it's the funniest shit to me. One time I had so many enemies fight me at the same time. I was saying it to a volume to which I was crying. I was saying it so much. I thought it was so funny. Shut your bitch ass look a motherfucking ass up. And I just hit him with a sword and I do it again. And that would be it. It was so funny to me. It was good. It was good. It was good. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm glad.
How do you think crabs pray?
How they, like,
Yeah.
pray to God or pray
Well,
on
how do you think they pray?
animals?
And better yet, what religion do you think they are? I'm under the
They're
stark.
probably...
I'm under the idea that they are of the Islamic race, Islamic religion. I
Race,
meant to say
you say?
religion, but race fell out of my mouth.
Race? So they're like... Okay, I see what you mean. So you think they're just like some sort of people, some group, and they're all the same?
No,
huh?
no,
Alright.
that's not what I meant
I
to
see.
say. I meant to say religion, not race.
Okay.
And I immediately fixed myself, Ethan. So shut your bitch ass looking ass motherfucking looking ass up, okay? And please, how would crabs pray? Because their arms are out to their side.
Right. So they would see. I don't think they would. They'd probably have something more akin to like a Greek or Roman
Really?
pantheon, or even like Egyptian. Yeah, because they would probably worship the fish that swim above them.
Maybe.
Right? Because they can't swim. Like if they came across like a manta ray or something.
But
they'd be
at
like,
the same
"Whoa,
time,
man."
crabs
Like,
are
this-
caught by humans. Wouldn't you think that humans the strongest of all? I mean, if you think about it, they see.
Yeah, but maybe we're just like Cerberus, you know?
Maybe.
Like the guard dogs to their death or their doom, their afterworld. And so, in theory, you know, closer to the surface.
What if they just didn't believe in any religion and they were just like,
agnostic
yeah,
or
but like
something?
even farther than that, it's like nihilist.
Scientology?
Just
Oh,
they hate.
nihilist.
They believe in nothing. They hate everything. They're actually all a part of QAnon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
Crab,
What about lobsters? then?
lobsters, Christians for sure.
Yeah,
No doubt in my mind.
good lads.
Yeah, they all.
See, but then you got the strange ones like horseshoe crabs, which aren't actually.
They're
crabs.
Buddhist.
Oh, you know we harvest horseshoe crabs for their food.
What?
Yeah, I learned about that in zoology.
First off, you have a zoology class. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it was really lame.
interesting.
We would have dissected a bunch of stuff like like pig fetuses and
it's COVID.
stuff like that, but we never, or like cow eyes. Yeah, but because of COVID, like nobody was in person, and so she didn't order any
Dang.
like physical.
Why do we harvest their
Yeah.
blood?
It's because their blood is like a fantastic indicator for some sort of chemical or compound. I can't remember what it was. And like any man-made test can't even reach to the accuracy of this blood.
Do you know
of
horse
theirs.
semen is the most
Hold on.
is the most expensive liquid? Yeah, because
Really?
like champion horses, it is the
Oh, that's true.
most expensive liquid.
Here it is. I found it. The blood contains a special clotting agent. It's used to make a concoction called limbless ambisite lysate, or LAL.
Lal.
Before LAL, Scientists had no easy way of knowing whether a vaccine or medical tool was contaminated with bacteria.
Interesting.
So yeah, they use it to make sure medical stuff is clean.
Neat.
They have blue blood, by the way. Bright blue
Fun.
blood. Hold on, I'll copy and send a picture.
You know how, like, for the longest time they made people believe that they had blue blood in their system, even though that's not true.
Yeah, that's...
It's like those weird,
ridiculous.
like, why, it's like those weird things that they teach us that make no sense. Like how daylight savings is because of farmers, when in reality it had nothing to do with that. That is weird blood. That shit looks like the fucking,
Yep.
chug jug.
Yeah, dude. They just put them on a shelf,
Damn.
stick a
Bro.
spigot in there, just start
Oh my
draining them.
gosh.
Yeah, so there's like a whole
Yeah.
ethics thing of like, is it morally right to harvest an animal's blood?
Dude, that's kind of fucking crazy. It's, how have I
It
never
is,
heard
it's
of this?
wild. Because not many people know about horseshoe crab blood harvest.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's called a blood
Well,
harvest.
that's
too.
exactly what it is. You're harvesting their blood. It would be a blood harvest. Crazy. Shit's wild.
Yeah, horseshoe crab.
How many
blood
times do you
harvest.
think those bottles have been dropped?
I don't know. You think it tastes like a blue raspberry?
No, I don't, because blue raspberry is
No?
a completely artificial flavor, which means that
So blueberry. Then.
yeah, either that or it's like a mystery flavor.
Oh yeah, it's like those white fruit roll-ups. Not fruit
Lollipops.
roll-ups, Airheads. Is it
I Airheads or the
Yeah, I think
lollipops
it's
have them
Airheads.
too.
Oh,
Yes,
the,
Dum-Dums.
Dum-Dums. Yeah.
So
So yeah, now you know about the
Interesting.
blood harvest.
well, Ethan, I think it's a good time to end today's
Yeah,
episode.
Brian.
After
think it's a
talking
good
from
time,
Neo to death of Mr. John McAfee to standing and wiping, a lot of piss and shit stories, and now blood harvesting, I think we really did a good job encompassing all of the world's problems.
This was. I think we've really solved many issues plaguing mankind. We've really made it a better
Before we
place
leave
today.
today's episode, would you mind putting General Grievous back on the line, please?
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, what's up? It's General
Dude.
Grievous.
How many lightsabers do you have?
A fair
Can
bit.
I have one?
Good collection.
Alright,
No.
fuck you. I'm cutting out Ethan's here.
Hey,
I-
whoa, okay, you
Hey,
know,
General, you can talk to me when you're a real person. Go eat and suck my ass.
All right, whoa, wow, okay. All
Because
right,
of you,
know
I'm
what?
taking out.
I'm leaving your Lego collection. You're not. I'm not allowed to be your favorite.
I'm
Lego
sorry.
character anymore.
You can never ruin that for me.
I've
You know what?
banned
Never
you
meet
from
your
that.
heroes. All right. Fuck you. Okay.
Yeah, go piss yourself.
Hey, at least I'm not dead, jackass. Fucking. I'll kick your
Not
ass.
yet.
I'll do it. I'll kick your ass. Me and you, one on one, no lightsaber.
I will.
You know what? Because of you. You know what? Because of you. Because of
I'm
you.
made
I'm
of
taking
metal.
out Ethan's
Made
spine.
of
I'm sorry.
metal.
It's all your fault.
Okay. Gone a little too far
Oh
this
really?
time.
Oh really? Ethan, when did you get back on the line?
I overheard it all. I took
Damn.
the mic away from
Damn.
him.
Look, I had to get back at him. You know.
Well, by getting
Well,
at me.
I know you're related.
He's like my second
Yeah,
cousin,
but, like,
man. Like
I-
it's already a loose
Still.
relationship, and I got him on the podcast because I knew
I
you'd
am
be
excited, but he told me
And
he
here
wanted to
you
eat my
are,
ass,
like-
and I thought that was it. I thought that was over.
I don't
Wait,
think you
did
did,
I miss a
though.
few steps? Wait, I said I was gonna eat his
think
ass.
you-
Wait a minute. I'm having a life crisis here.
Well, all right. Well, now my relationship with him is strained because of this. Now I gotta work through
I'm
this.
sorry. You gotta go to Merritt.
You've really put me in a
sorry,
bind.
bud. All right, look, people at home, we'll make sure this is all worked up before next podcast. If it's not, I'll get General Grievous back on the cast, and I'll apologize to him. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time with more Dudes Club podcast, and hopefully he'll apologize. Love you guys.
Hopefully.
See you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.